There we go. So welcome everyone. My name is Steve Van Dorn. I'm the President and CEO of the Pleasanton Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to our 2025 forum for November. We have a great set of speakers lined up today, but before we get into that, I just want to wish you all a happy Veterans Day. I hope you'll have time to spend some thoughts about honoring our veterans that do so much to support our democracy. So thank you for joining us on a holiday for many, but many of us are still working today. So, and so I wanted just to give a brief overview of why we hold these every month when we can. And the 2025 forum, the purpose of these is to allow our leaders in our community to talk about what they're working on, also to ask them and see if they're helping us reach our goals that we have outlined in our 2025 vision document that's on our website. The Chamber set up several goals that we'd like to see our community reach in 2025. And this has been going on since I think around 2015, the Chamber started this. So this is just another opportunity for one of our leading businesses, Omron, to talk about why they are here in Pleasanton and what they're doing to stimulate our economy. So we're so pleased to have them with them. They're also a gold level Circle of Influence member. So we really appreciate that as well. So let me introduce our headline speaker, Mr. Harvey Dhillon. He's the Director of Global Marketing for Omron Robotics and Safety Technologies. And as most of you can imagine, what do? They design robotic solutions that improve the quality of life for individuals and many other disciplines. Harvey believes the best solution for a customer is the one they need, regardless of the one they may want. Having spent the prior 15 years as a global sales leader with General Electric, Emerson Automation, it's easy to understand why. Harvey obtained a degree in electronic engineering in Australia. I've already heard his accent a little bit earlier, before moving to the USA in the late 90s, where he also obtained a degree in computer science. Harvey has an interesting and very multicultural family history, born to an English mother and Indian father while in Australia. Harvey migrated to the USA, where he married a French-Canadian wife. So Harvey and his wife are particularly excited to be blessed with the opportunity to live in the Tri-Valley region, having spent the prior 20 years on the East Coast before moving to Livermore in July 2020. That's the only thing we need to change. He needs to move to Pleasanton. They look forward to enjoying warm, sunny days and cooler evenings with their 7-year-old son, Cole. So please join me in welcoming Harvey to our 2025 forum.
Thank you very much, Steve, for the introduction. I would move to Pleasanton, but the price of real estate here is so expensive. I'm still recovering from the purchase in Livermore. No, so glad to be here. Glad to talk about Omron and what we're doing in the community, and actually ask for some advice and help on what we could do more. I'm new to the area. I've been here on the West Coast for about 7 months now. So I'm kind of getting the feel for the region. I really lucked out with the area I moved into. Looking forward to understanding more and getting out and meeting more people. And this is a great start for me. So thank you very much. Emily, do you want to, if you can share we don't have screen sharing up. So I think, Steve, we have to have screen sharing on our side so we can share. Oh, you're muted, Steve.
Okay, I just gave you authority, so
you'll
be able to do that.
Excellent. All right, we'll get started. Thank you, everyone. Once again, happy to be here. All right, so as Steve mentioned, we're Omron Robotics. We're in Pleasanton, as most of you all would know. If you jump to the next slide, you'll see up in the top left-hand corner our new building, actually, that was built on Hacienda Drive. Earlier this year, we moved into the building in February timeframe. Obviously, Omron, big company internationally. a little bit newer to the US. You'll see that on the next slide, but been around for 85 years, founded in 1933, $8 billion in annual sales, 30,000 employees, 300 of which are in Pleasanton and growing. Even though we have some complications socially with regards to pandemics and viruses and other challenges that are going on, we're actually growing in the Pleasanton area, and we have many open requisitions for new engineers, new salespeople, new marketing people. So 52% of our company is focused on industrial automation. And we'll describe a little more later in the presentation about what that's centered around. But absolutely love to be here. Lovely area. I'm happy the traffic's not too bad yet, but I'm assuming that's going to go up once more people get back to work. So next slide, Emily. All right. So from Omron's perspective, we were founded in 1933. Kazuma Takeshi founded us in 1933 in Japan, obviously. We expanded into North America in 1973. So been around for quite some time in the North America region. And then the big move for us, Omron in particular, and also for the Bay Area, was when we moved into, when we acquired Delta Tau, Adept, and Microscan in 2014. So that was a big step for us. That's when we became a part of the Bay Area, heavily from an Omron perspective, and started our journey to where we are today and continuing our journey on. Okay, slides. So this is our founder, Kazuma Takeshi, highly honored and revered throughout Omron. Started our company, set our foundation. I've been at many companies, large companies. I was with GE before, and we had revered founders. I'm sure people know of Thomas Edison. Takeshi is highly revered inside of Omron because of what he did, not just starting the company, but setting the foundation for us to be a more socially aware company. A company that focuses on making sure that we're making a difference in the social environment, not just with regards to making money. It's a little bit of a change for me, coming from a large US organization like GE, which was very focused on hitting the revenue number, and that was how they helped their shareholders. In Omron, it's very much focused on what Omron does to help society and improve the well-being of individuals. So next slide. So once again, this is the values of Omron. Innovation driven by social needs. We try to pioneer in creating aspired solutions for the future. We're trying to create solutions that are change the environment and help us improve society and improve people's lives. We also challenge ourselves. We pursue new challenges with passion and courage. We encourage our employees to pursue the impossible. We challenge our team to think beyond what our competition does and try to develop products that are industry leading. And then the one overriding principle we have inside of across all of Omron, not just in ORT, which is our organization, is respect for all. Act with integrity, encourage everyone's potential. So we want everybody that works at the company and everybody that utilizes our products and everybody that we touch to feel that we really care. So in doing so, we act with integrity. We make sure that everybody feels like they're a part of our team, that we want them to reach their potential, and we want them to reach the potential of the products that we deliver to them. So this is our global presence. I've talked a lot about how we're in the Bay Area, but we do have 150 plus locations across 40 countries across the world. It allows us to have reach and scale. It allows us to distribute our products not only on a global scale, but bring some of the elements of other areas in the world that maybe are ahead of the US or have new and refreshing ideas. It allows us to bring that back into the US market, allows us to take the US market's goals, achievements, forward-looking vision, and bring that into other areas of the world, refine that strategy, and produce a truly world-class product. So we have our leadership team, we were talking about it the other day inside of, we have a leadership team of roughly 7 people that are in ORT. None of those people were physically born in the USA. They're all from other areas of the world that have migrated here, and most have lived here for 20 plus years. So they and myself consider ourselves as Americans, US Americans, but it truly is a global company, and we truly have a multicultural environment inside the Pleasanton office. So why Pleasanton? I'm sure that's the big question that people are asking, why we're here. A few reasons for it. We were acquired when we were in Fremont, and we had a group inside of San Ramon. Obviously, naturally, we try to find an area that's conducive to both. And we luckily found Pleasanton, kind of in the middle of those 2 locations. But one thing that, and I personally went through this myself, one thing that's difficult here is attracting talent. We have so much competition in the Bay Area for attracting engineers, for attracting marketeers. The one thing the Tri-Valley brings is a great family atmosphere. So we can entice engineers to our facility and to our company purely based upon where we're located. People want to have their families move into an area that they feel comfortable with, the lifestyle that their children are going to grow up in, the downtown environment they have to take their families in the evening, go out to dinner, just walk around, have nice social atmosphere. The Pleasanton, the Tri-Valley area, Pleasanton in particular, allows those individuals to have the lifestyle they really want. So why Pleasanton? It allows us to kind of leverage the social environment here to bring engineers in. And it gives us an advantage over other groups that may be based inside of San Francisco or based inside of Fremont or San Ramon or Oakland. We truly have a draw card for people that want to raise young families or maybe are settling down towards as they're going to retirement. It's a great location for us to be able to lure people in. So that's why Pleasanton. It's working out great for us. Worked out great for myself. When I came, I got a tour of the area as part of the pitch to come and move to Omron in Pleasanton. And it, from my perspective, worked out great. I'm in Livermore. We love the area we're in. Schools are great. People are great. It takes me probably 50% longer to walk down the street because everyone says hello. In Boston, there's not many people saying hello when you walk down the street, but here everybody says hello. And it's kind of weird for me in the first 6 months. I had to get used to that. So next slide. So here are how we're broken out from a business segment. You saw in the first slide that we're a heavy industrial automation company. We do have other components to our business that help us diversify. And it's certainly helped us during the downturn in the business due to the current, not political climate, but more health climate, the pandemic we have. The healthcare industry has helped prop up some other areas of our business to sustain our revenue growth. So we haven't had to lay anybody off. We haven't had to furlough employees. We've kept people employed. We've kept manufacturing people employed for a period of time when we couldn't have them in the office. So it was the great thing about moving to Omron as a company. They truly cared about their employees, and they carried not only the benefits, but the salaries of our employees when we weren't able to work during the first month or so of the COVID-19 pandemic. So being diversified helped, but certainly being part of a company that cared about its employees and cared about the environment really helped us move forward. So this is kind of how we're broken out: social systems, components. Components is relays and other small devices that we sell globally. And then other is other areas of Omron related to finance and things like that. So this is how our company's laid out. we're in the industrial automation area. And then from an industrial automation, this is what industrial automation is for us. Heavily involved in automotive, production lines, building, welding car chassis, moving car chassis, providing automotive components, airbags. We supply robots to the top 10% of the airbag manufacturers in the world, Autoliv being one of them. Food, commodity, and packaging, which has become extremely important in the current environment. We're heavily involved in bottling plants, food packaging plants, food processing plants from a robotics perspective. And then semiconductor and digital. The first few months of the pandemic was an interesting time for our customers. We saw a downturn in automotive and we saw a downturn in infrastructure, but our electronics manufacturing customers saw an extreme uptick. And one of those manufacturers was with PlayStation. So I guess people are sitting at home, children are at home, kids are at home and purchasing online games and purchasing gaming. I guess parents had to figure out some way to keep children entertained. So they went out and they bought a whole bunch of gaming stations, Xboxes and PlayStation. So our customers saw a spike in activity from a semiconductor perspective. Then obviously as from the virus perspective, as it became a little more, public became more aware, our life sciences group took off, where we started seeing robotics requests to enter into testing for the virus, creating vaccines for the virus, understanding how the virus spreads. Many of our customers started purchasing robots, so physical people didn't have to be put in harm's way, which worked out very great for us as a company when you look at how it ties to our values. And then lastly, from an infrastructure perspective, which we're starting to see come back online in North America and other areas of the world, we provide robotics that help out not only governments, but in the private sector of infrastructure, providing products that allow human workers to move away from repetitive tasks and do something that's more valuable to them and something that gives them a greater enjoyment out of their work life. So these are the areas we focus on. Certainly we have customers for robotics outside of these areas, but these are the 5 areas that we focus on as a company. We have what we call an integrated solution. It was a big release for us this year. What we have is a product that pulls all of our groups together and creates one solution to the customer. We truly, as a company, provide an end-to-end solution for our customers. So if you picture a manufacturing plant, which you'll see later in the slide deck, if you picture a manufacturing plant, we can provide robots that help with incoming goods, and then robots that help with distributing those goods to into warehouses, out of warehouses, and across to the consumer in general. So when you look at what we do from an Omron perspective, one of our big customers is Mir. Mir can supply one single product only. They supply a robot. We can truly supply, we can walk into a customer's location and provide them a product in every area of their business. So we can help them improve the quality of life for their workers from the factory floor through distribution, through the engineering locations in their company. So truly can provide an end-to-end solution that helps a customer improve their entire product flow. So we have a term ILORS, which is our story about how we bring all our products together to provide a complete solution to our customers. The I in the ILORS is input. And this is the basic switches that allow advanced vision, detection, measurement, quality control. If you picture a sewage plant, for instance, they'll have one of our input devices measuring flow of water into a sewage outlet tank. We can then provide feedback back to another location to say, listen, back off the pressure into this tank because the tank's getting full. we don't want it to have an overflow situation. So this is the input portion that we have inside of Omron. Then we have the L, which is our logic portion of our product portfolio. The logic portion is the portion that does the analysis of the input. So we have, in the previous scenario I mentioned about water flow, this is what would take the measurements that flow meter is sending into a computer, and then perform some analysis of that and provide an output into some device that's active to perform some measurement, shut off a valve or turn on a valve or something like that. So you'll see that on the next slide, which output for us could be so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Output perspective, this is the output that happens as a result of the logic analysis that's performed on the previous slide. This is what drives relays, drives motors. In the ORT, Omron Robotics Technology in Pleasanton, we build mobile robots. And in those mobile robots, we have various different
Is everyone muted? It might be interrupting his.
Harvey, you keep getting muted. I'm not sure why. You're muted again. There you go.
Yeah, we're not sure why it's muting. We're not doing anything on our side.
No.
We'll see. I'll just keep an eye on this red dot here. And if
Okay. Oh, there it goes again. Jeez. Huh.
I don't know if we can force it to not mute.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything, just so you know.
So unmute that. It's unmuted now, right? All right, good.
Yeah,
We'll keep going. I'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll stop if I see it muted. Sorry about this. I'm not.
Oh, there it goes again.
Not touching.
Yeah, we're not touching anything. Let's see if
Yeah.
it goes again. Move the mouse off of it. All right, looks good. All right, I'll keep going. Hopefully, as soon as I start talking, I'm sure it'll mute, but we'll keep plugging through this. So yeah, so we.
Steve, can you hit mute everybody and then turn it on and off? Tom and Peter are unmuted.
So I wonder if someone's muting themselves, but muting
The group.
the group.
Oh, that would be it.
They don't have the rights for that. I'm going to mute all, and then I'll unmute you. Okay.
Okay. Yep. All right. So we are unmuted now.
Yes.
I'll give it 3 seconds of settling time.
Okay. Hopefully.
We got this far without a problem, so I'm sure we can get through the rest. All right, good. So, like I said about from an output perspective, the output could be the drive on a mobile robot. For us, it's the output is the action that happens as a result of the logic. So then, robotics is the area from us, from the Pleasanton group that we provide to, next slide. All right, so robotics. So we provide an extensive range of fixed, collaborative, and mobile robots. They're the three areas that we focus on. Fixed robots being the robot arm that you see on the right-hand side of the screen here. Collaborative robots are the same style, more designed to work with humans. That's why they're termed collaborative robots. They're still of a fixed variety, but they are designed to collaborate safely with humans and remove the repetitive load that humans may have inside of their work environment. And then we have mobile robots, which are designed to move around product flow, move around product portfolio, transfer goods from one area of a business to another, autonomously without humans needing to interact. So this is the primary area that we focus on in the Pleasanton facility. You'll see on the next slide from a safety perspective that we focus on safety as well. We have a safety team inside of the Pleasanton facility. We relocated that from Fremont early this year as well. So we joined our safety and robotics group together. As you can imagine, safety is a very important part as we bring robotics to more of closer to human beings as we work side by side with robots inside manufacturing plants, as we deploy robots inside of hospitals, inside of office environments for UV robots, for instance, that sanitize work areas that allow humans to come in to a clean and safe environment. So you'll see here, this is the basic factory automation plant. It's obviously broken down into a very small scale picture, but this shows, we're muted. Oh, we're off mute now.
Yeah.
Good. So this shows everything we do, kind of what we can deliver to a customer. From, if you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see one of our HD 1500 robots. This is a mobile robot that can carry 1,500 kilograms. Is designed to move autonomously around a plant. It will transfer goods from one area to another without human intervention. You'll see that the vertical lines are a conveyor belt. Once again, we can move robots. Robots carry goods to a conveyor belt, deposit goods on a conveyor that'll move down. You'll see it move along to the robot arm there, where the human being you'll see standing there. That's one of our collaborative robots. So collaborative robots designed to work safely with a human. It's there's various levels of safety. One level of safety is there's a force sensor that detects that it has made a collision with a human, and it'll stop automatically before damage occurs, or it has a sensor on it that will detect that a human enters in, and the robot will physically stop moving. So it's one key thing that people, when we talk to customers and vendors of robots, one thing we try to drive from a story perspective is that we're not trying to replace workers in the environment. It's one of the things that you kind of see when people talk about robotics displacing human workers. We're not trying to eliminate the human content inside of factory automation or eliminate jobs. What Omron's focused on is removing the repetitive tasks that may make a job less enjoyable for a human being. So for a job in a car environment where we're screwing in hoods or screwing in doors, it's a very repetitive job that a human would normally have to do. That job is offloaded to a robot and frees the human up to do a little more work that's maybe more mind intensive than labor intensive, and gives the human being a better quality of work. So key takeaway from this slide is we can provide everything from end to end, from a robotic solution for customers to improve the workflow inside their plant. But the overarching theme for us is we're not just providing efficiency, we're providing quality of work life for the individuals that work in those plants. And that's the one thing I think from my takeaway when I first joined the company that people miss. It's not elimination of employees or elimination of human labor to save company money. It's more the quality of life for workers that are inside plants that we're opting to push towards. So one thing that we've been particularly proud of is how we've reacted, and our customers have reacted as an ecosystem to help fight the COVID-19 virus. So as we entered into COVID-19, we saw mass production ramp up with our customers. We saw a spike in robot sales from our side, and a spike in requests for specific robot actions and activities to produce masks to protect people from the virus. So many of our customers called us up and asked for custom robots and custom applications that could help with mask production. Then we started seeing sanitizer production, customers that were producing other chemicals that worked with us, shampoo providers, chemicals for hair gels, things like that. They started producing sanitizer. So in that environment, they asked us to deliver them new robots or deliver them new algorithms.
You're muted again.
I stopped talking while I saw it turn red. So
All right.
it's okay. We're good. So we saw a lot of our customers request us to give them new algorithms to change the way they were producing their goods so they could pivot away from producing consumer products for cosmetics to producing sanitizer products. So that was the second step in the evolution in fighting the virus. Then we started seeing people use our robots to test for antibodies. So a lot of hospitals, research facilities that we hadn't interacted with before started purchasing our products to start testing for antibodies. As that evolved, people looked at different ways of sanitizing workspaces. We have many customers around the world now that purchase UV mobile.
Jeez.
So UV mobile robots from us, we produce several around the world. We have integrators and suppliers that supply our robots with UV lights on top that will go through a facility late at night after workers have left and clean and sanitize the area without having to send a janitor or a facilities management person into an environment that may be unclean. And then lastly, we've started seeing COVID-19 test kit production. So the rapid tests that you and I may take when we go to Walgreens or CVS, we've got several customers that now produce those COVID-19 test production kits using our robots. So very proud of what we've done as far as fighting the virus. Hopefully here soon we'll have vaccines and other measures to fight the virus. And I'm sure that there's been an Omron product that has touched that test procedure somewhere in the life cycle of fighting COVID-19. So this is one area we're particularly proud of from an Omron perspective. Then what do we do when we don't have a pandemic? This is what we do for the community when we're in normalcy from a company perspective. So we're heavily engaged with local schools. We have engineers that go into classrooms and provide demonstrations of robots for children to see. It's not robots like in the Terminator that kids will see on TV. It's more robots that help either produce the goods for that we consume, or robots that help quality of life for workers, as I mentioned earlier. Then we have community organization relationships that allow us to work in the community to provide new products that help improve quality of life once again. One thing that I found out yesterday was Omron was the first company to produce the ATM card reader. So when we go and get cash out of ATM, that was Omron invented product. And then also the stoplight, the first stoplight in the world was invented by Omron. So different things that we're doing, we've done to influence the community. And then we also hold robotics workshops. This isn't just in the Pleasanton area. We do this across North America and across the globe. We hold robotics workshops in our facilities to show the community what robots do, how they produce the iPads and iPhones and other products that consumers consume, but also show them what robotics can bring to them as a business. I think a lot of companies don't realize that robots can not only improve their ability to efficiently push out goods, but there's certain areas that robots can take over that may be hazardous for humans.
You got you muted again.
There we go. We're off. I'm getting used to this now. So I see the red light and I stop talking.
Okay.
So we're good. All right. So from a charity and volunteer perspective, one thing that's very, very important to Omron goes back to our founder pushing us as a community inside of Omron to be more volunteer in the community, to be more socially aware. We have what's called Founders Week. That's named after our founder. And during that week, our employees are encouraged and company sponsored to go out and perform community service, to pay back to the community, to help maybe go work in a food kitchen or go help with the homeless. We encourage our employees for that week to give back to the community, not only with financial donations, but with our physical time and presence out in the public, making a difference for people that maybe don't have the same opportunities we have as we come to work every day. So that Founders Week is very important to us. It's something that our employees across the world are encouraged to take part in. Something I'm looking forward to take part in for the first time myself coming up here shortly. So once again, another part of our push from an Omron perspective to be more socially aware and give back to the community. And then the last thing, we want to help develop business relationships. So one thing that I want to take on a little bit more ownership on is we're new in the Pleasanton area. We want to see where we can help local businesses, maybe businesses that are just starting up. Maybe there's a way we can assist them with robots, not just to make money. Maybe we loan them robots. Maybe we give them the ability to come in and see what we do here. So it gives them ideas on how they can improve their business. We really want, and out of this forum, we really want to understand where we can do more locally, because we don't, from my feeling is we don't really do enough, and it's not through lack of trying, it's probably through lack of understanding what we can do in the local area. So when we get to the question and answer time at the end, any suggestions, any hints, any requests, please provide them, because we want to do more in the community. Another area that we're particularly proud of is in PPIE. So this is the Pleasanton Partnership in Education, Foothill High School, which is just around the corner here. This is one thing that the engineers here are extremely excited to do. Everyone here has children. Everyone here likes to see the children's eyes light up when they see a robot come in and they see the possibilities. From my perspective, personally, one thing I want to see us be able to do in the local community is show children of high school age that they don't have to leave the Tri-Valley area to go get a high-tech. There we go, off mute. So one thing we want to do is really allow students in the Tri-Valley area to see that they can have a job in high tech or in robotics right in their own backyard. They don't have to move to another area of California or another area of the country to pursue a career in robotics or pursue a career in high tech. We're right here. There's many other companies in the Pleasanton region that provide students and provide current residents of the Tri-Valley area good, high-paying jobs in the robotics sector. So not only is it important for us to be able to reach students and children and show the possibilities of robots, we want to show them the possibilities of not having to leave their community or not having to leave their family structure in order to pursue a career in robotics or high tech. So multiple reasons why we like to get involved in PPIE, and they give us wonderful support. help us with all of our engagements inside schools, providing curriculums, helping us with ideas on how we can reach students better. This is one of the feathers in our caps, one of the areas where we have been able to really make a difference in Pleasanton. And one of the areas where we have a very great partnership. So we want to attack the Pleasanton area from a social perspective, and this is just one of those, a cornerstone of what we do. We'd like to have more ideas about how we can do things like PPIE in the Pleasanton or Tri-Valley area. So lastly is our kind of the pitch slide that all our customers see when we're around the world is Omron, your trusted partner in automation, speaks to our 85 years and continuous growth across the globe. Growing in North America, I think this will be the area from Omron's perspective where we grow the most as we gain more understanding of the US market, and the US market gains more understanding of what we can provide from a robotics perspective. But first and foremost, the thing for us is to try to provide a difference socially. We feel we are from a robotics perspective. Now for us, we want to make sure that we can provide the same level to our local community. So thank everyone for their time today. I'm not sure how much time I left. I guess, 15 minutes for questions. Steve, you can take it from here as far as coordinating how we go through that process.
Great. Maybe if you wouldn't mind, stop sharing your screen so we can see everybody. And I usually just ask people, we got a small group here of about 18 people. So looks like Herb has a question and Brock next. So Herb, go ahead.
Hey, Harvey, great job on the presentation. First, how long were you with GE and Omron?
So I was with GE for about 18 years.
Okay.
And then Omron, I have been with Omron for since March. I will remember.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. There you go.
We're unmuted now. So I will remember the day until I leave this planet. But March 16th was the day I started with Omron, and March 16th was the day we all went into lockdown in California. So that's
well, March 31st, I semi-retired from 32 years with Schneider Electric. And,
oh, wow.
Omron was always a good collaborative competitor in a way. You guys were in the automation, we were in energy management. So I just this slide brings back memories to my sitting in conference rooms a year ago. But
cool, yeah.
One comment, thank you for supporting Foothill with the automations. We also have my fellow, he used to work for Schneider for 12 years, started the engineering program at Amador, Tony Dennis. I don't know if you've dealt with him, but he is always looking for business partners in our community, like you're doing with Foothill. He actually helped start the Foothill engineering program. So that would be a good outreach for you. He has his whole engineering program set up at Amador, and I think that would be a good collaborative thing for you. And PPIE is great to work with. And finally, I got to put a plug in for our Rotary clubs of Pleasanton. We're always looking for good members. Steve's a member of the downtown club. I'm a member of the North Pleasanton club, and that's a good community service avenue for you. But I just thought your presentation was great. I love your involvement in the community. It sounds similar to what a lot of our other big companies are. I'm glad you are in Pleasanton. So this is just a comment. So thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I know Schneider. I have many colleagues at GE that came from Schneider. We were probably more heavy competitors then, but healthy competition with Schneider. So I'm sure you enjoyed your time there. Great company. Yeah, no, thank you for the suggestions. Do I get to join I can join the Rotary Club even if I live in Livermore, right?
You can come to my club, Pleasanton Fridays. I'll talk to you. Steve's going to pull you to the downtown one, of course.
Thursdays are better. Thursdays are better club.
Yeah, mine's Fridays.
Healthy competition there as well. But no, great. I will, I guess, Steve, or who can share with me kind of the contacts, because I'm writing them down, but my writing is not the best. But it was Amador, right?
Yeah, Tony.
I've already emailed Tony.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've already emailed Tony your contact information. I actually work for the school district. I actually share, actually in the engineering building at Amador. And
Okay.
so I have shared your contact information with him already. I talk to him once a week now with COVID. So he knows about you already.
Perfect.
So, and I'd like to echo what he said. Is great presentation. Love what you're doing right here in Pleasanton. I had no idea. I think, did you guys take over that huge building that used to be a trucking company?
I think so. Yeah, across from Viva.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I drive by it all the time.
Yeah.
So, and also just a little plug for my program. If you're ever looking for, willing to look for students, high school students who are special ed students,
Yep.
my grant pays for their wages and their workers' comp to give them work experience. So I'm always looking for business partners, and especially like a manufacturing type company. So if you don't mind, I'll email you separately.
No, absolutely. No, thank you for that. We absolutely would, right? So special ed, children that may not have the opportunities that others may have, we're looking seriously to provide avenues for people that may not have had opportunities or may not have the opportunities as other students do, right? Maybe they're a little more shy or a little more, they don't have the ability to really express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We'll provide avenues. So great, if you could send those
Great.
across, would be very willing to.
Yeah, I've got some young men who are highly intelligent, who would thrive in a manufacturing type facility. And so I've been trying to find one. So I'll contact you separately, but thank you so much for what you're doing in the community and for choosing Pleasanton.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for your comments too. Look forward to reaching and talking to you.
Awesome.
So I got Brock next and then Peter after Brock.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Harvey. Actually, I work as a civil engineer. Just our office is just a couple blocks from where you guys are down in Hacienda. And I have a theory, before my question, I have a theory on the muting. I suspect it's probably one of your savvy technology competitors who's figuring out how to hack in here and try and mute you. So you guys must be really good at what you do, because that's never happened before here on the Forum 2025. So so my question is, as you're growing here and you're attracting talent, what is something that would be good for us to know in terms of the challenges with housing, right? Because one of the things that we look at and pay attention to is, do we have workforce housing here in the area, and how does that impact our economic development? So if you have any insights on what it's like with attracting talent, people trying to live here in Pleasanton, what might be helpful, any thoughts on that would be good for us. And then after that, I have an opportunity or a suggestion for you, but I'll let you tackle the housing question first.
Yeah, well, let me tell you my experience. So I came here I moved my family here in probably third week of July. And we had a hell of a time finding somewhere to stay. The Airbnbs were available, but out of reach for us at the time, trying to find the right. I have only one child, but my wife has 4 cats, right? 4 cats live with me, my wife's 4 cats. But finding a place was extremely difficult. We ended up in a single bedroom apartment on Santa Rita Road. And we stayed there for 2 months until we found a house. But just the ability, the only thing that we really had available was Airbnbs or hotels, and then hotels weren't willing to accept our pets. So it was complicated for us as a family trying to find somewhere to live. And luckily we lucked onto the place in Santa Rita Road, and they were open to us. But yeah, housing was a serious difficulty for myself. And I'm trying to lure other employees here from the East Coast. And it's right in the back of my mind, the experience they get for the first 2 months they moved here. Generally, it's a tough time emotionally because you've just left your social support network in where you live. And now you've moved here and you're living in a smaller place, or you're trying to find somewhere to live. And you can't really develop a close-knit relationship with the community because you're you're being forced to live in a location where you kind of may not be comfortable. So it's a great question, and I'd be open to any and all solutions that or options that maybe you have.
Thank you. That actually helps us. That helps us. It gives us some anecdotal evidence as we try and make points along the way of the need for workforce housing. And then a thought when you're talking about opportunities in the area, right across the freeway in Dublin is the what we call the Santa Rita Jail, the Alameda County Jail, which is one of the largest jails in the state of California. I think they have 4,000 inmates, but when they opened up in the 80s, were famous for having robots that distributed laundry and food and whatnot between the different secure parts of the prison. And I know from touring Santa Rita a few years ago that their robotic system has aged out and they're having a hard time finding replacement parts. They cannibalize robots to keep others working. But it just came to mind that would be a local project that could be very visible. And if they haven't found a solution in the last few years since I've been there, they're probably ready for one.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity. I'd love personally to go there and see what we could do, right? To assist there, even sanitizing, right? We could provide sanitizing robots that help go around and clean cafeterias and things. I know there must be concern about the virus there. But absolutely, if you could provide me some contact information there, we'd love to reach out and see what we can do from our perspective in helping. It's so you don't see the forest for the trees, right? You probably drive past the jail every day and we don't think of it, but it's a great suggestion.
Thanks, Brock. Peter, you're up next.
Okay, Harvey, you mentioned Omron is basically only a small portion or a portion of your business is in the United States. What are your major countries where you are located, and what percentages does it approximately break down between your major markets?
Yeah, so obviously being a Japanese company, heavily centered in Japan. Japan is probably, I don't know the percentages of breakdown of revenue. I know the locations where we're heavily centered in. So Japan's one, we're founded there. Europe, across Europe, more centralized in Northern Europe, and then in Southern Europe, Italy, primarily based around the manufacturing that's in either of those regions. So Italy is very motion specific. They provide a lot of motion products, bottling plants and things like that. So Italy, and then across the northern area of Germany. Germany is very high tech, as people know. They produce some of the best automobiles in the world. A lot of the new products come out of Germany. So they're very heavily advanced in robotics. Then as we, North America is probably our third largest region. So we would have Japan as the highest, Asia Pacific near Japan, because it's central to our head office. They're probably our second largest, North America third, probably lined up closely with Europe. So it's probably outside of Japan, everywhere else is probably about the same size. But as we look towards the future of the company, the US market will well overtake the other areas of the world. We probably envision seeing America twice the size of our next largest group by 2025, 26.
So you're bullish on America?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm here and I'm American, so I'm going to be bullish on America.
Thanks, Peter. Any other questions from anybody? Just raise your hand if you've got any. Okay. I want to thank you again, Harvey, for the great presentation. Thanks, Tom, for your commitment to the chamber and all you're doing for our community. I know we're going to get you connected more in the future, so looking forward to that. Before we close up today, I just want to let you know our next speaker, our last one for the year, is going to be on December 9th. So we always hold these on the second Wednesday of the month, 7:30 a.m. And it'll be Dr. Daryl Foster. He's the new president of Las Positas College. If you haven't had an opportunity to meet him, he's really an amazing guy. And I think you'll really enjoy what he has to say. So he'll be our next speaker next month. So thank you all for joining us. Happy Veterans Day.
Hey, Steve, one last quick question for Harvey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have a public, you guys publicly traded, Harvey? In the
Yes,
US, in the US?
yes.
You have a ticker symbol?
OM, what is that stock symbol, AG? OM, what is our stock ticker symbol? What is our, Tom, are you on the line still, Tom?
Yeah, he's here, Tom. Yeah. He's muted.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head the publicly traded stock. I'll send it in a separate email.
No problem. I'll find it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other last questions? I think we're good. So thanks again. Have a great day, and we'll see you hopefully in the near future. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom and Harvey.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you all. Bye.
Have a great week.